Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to our installment of Scout Selections here for Monday, November 30th. Before we get into today's play of the day, quick recap of what happened yesterday. Unfortunately, we ended up losing in college basketball for the first time in a couple of days on solo play of the day videos, as we ended up taking Iowa State team total over 87.5, which was available at minus 120 on FanDuel. They ended up taking on Arkansas Pine Bluff. They ended up scoring 40-plus points in the second half, only scored 34 in the first half. Pretty disappointing start. Overall, the line ended up climbing up from 87.5 to 88.5, even 89 in some spots. So we got a good number, but it did not work out. Now, for today's play of the day, I wanted to stick to college basketball, but unfortunately, the card is very underwhelming. So for that reason, we're going to be talking about a primetime matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football. And for today's play of the day, we're going to be looking at a player prop here in the matchup. It's going to be on wide receiver DK Metcalf, and our play of the day is going to be on Metcalf longest reception, over 28.5 receiving yards, which is available on FanDuel at minus 113 at time recording of 11:52 a.m. Eastern Time. A couple reasons why I like the over in this spot. First of all, it is worth mentioning that even though 28.5 might seem a little bit high, Metcalf has gone over this number in 7 of his first 10 games so far this season. Metcalf has been a little bit quiet over the last couple of weeks, as he ended up having 46 receiving yards against Arizona and 28 receiving yards against the Rams in his last 2 games. However, just a friendly reminder that is also against Patrick Peterson and Jalen Ramsey. So those are 2 of the best cornerbacks in the league. And I do think that you will see Metcalf burst out for a very nice performance after going for 150-plus yards against the Eagles in the playoffs last year. I know that his primary matchup is going to be on Darius Slay, who ended up getting acquired by Philly to really help out the secondary. Unfortunately, Slay has really not lived up to his end of the billing. He's had some injury issues, also has not been that sharp. And I do think that he will struggle to deal with the physical Metcalf, who definitely can be quite overpowering if you are not used to it. If you look at who the Eagles have faced off with so far this season in terms of quality receivers, you really haven't faced that many guys who have had the sheer size and strength of Metcalf. I guess the closest comparison could be a Chase Claypool type, a very, very tall, lengthy, fast receiver. And he ended up torching the Eagles for 3 touchdowns and 110 yards. Other than that, though, really have not faced many very, very talented receivers. They faced off against McLaurin in week 1. Other than that, though, you have the Rams. Kupp had a good game, but that's not even really comparable. You have the Bengals, who have been, the receiving core has not been that great based on just elite level talent. But 49ers had some injury issues. The Steelers, I already mentioned, Claypool. The Ravens have no real solid receivers. Slayton had 90-plus yards, but I don't know if he's even comparable. The Cowboys, with no quarterback, I don't know if that counts. The Giants again, and then the Browns with no OBJ. Really have not faced that many elite wide receivers all season long. And now Metcalf has the chance to get back on track, even though he struggled a little bit statistically against Arizona last week, as he only had 46 yards and a touchdown. It is worth reminding people that Patrick Peterson did have 2 really, really bad pass interference penalties, about 30 to 40 yards down the field. So Metcalf did have a chance, or a couple of chances, to break that the over on that one before Peterson basically tackled him downfield. So I do think that Metcalf should get a decent amount of looks in a one-on-one coverage. Plus, it is worth mentioning that Seattle is going to run a bunch of play actions, test this Philly secondary, and Metcalf should at least get a couple of targets downfield to break this number, and I do think he will be able to hold one of them in. So looking at the numbers here, Philly's also very good against the run, something that they have been good at all season long, definitely in comparison to the pass defense, which has not been there. So Seattle has kind of implemented reintegrated their ground game back into the fold after they kind of abandoned it for a couple of weeks, and it worked out against Arizona. However, Philly's good against the run. I know last week they got torched by Cleveland, but Cleveland's ground game is on another planet, so that's kind of not a fair comparison. I think Seattle will struggle to run the ball in this game, and they'll be forced to throw the ball a little bit more. And I do think that there will be a decent amount of play action opportunities for Metcalf in one-on-one coverage. And you know that Wilson is never afraid to take a shot downfield, whether a team's offside, whether they like the matchup. I do think Metcalf will get enough targets downfield in order for this number to provide a little bit of value here at minus 113. So the play of the day, once again, here for Monday, November 30th, is going to be on DK Metcalf, longest reception, over 28.5 yards, available on FanDuel minus 113. That's been the Thomas Scott selection. Good luck to all of you in your respective bets today. Bye, everyone.